Good morning. Welcome to the New Blurred Order. Another Saturday with some of your favorite people on the internet in all forms, whether that be Facebook or YouTube or Twitch. What up, y'all? Glad to see you. Glad we got this wonderful show we could talk about. Well, some of us think it's wonderful. We'll see how that goes. But yo, it's me, Tyrone Thornhill. We got Yaz over here in the building. We got Steph in the building. How are y'all doing? You might notice that we're a little short this morning, but yeah, it's just us right now. Vince was riding a bike in Canada and briefly forgot how to ride a bike and fell off of it, and now he's recovering. And Ty's got some family stuff he's dealing with, so we wish both of y'all the best, and hopefully, next week is going to be a nice, normal, new blurred order so we could all be together again. It seems like it's been forever since the last time we were all in the same place at the same time. I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, it
That,
was like,
that's the story for the press. The true story is that in honor of She-Hulk, Yaz and I decided it was a ladies' takeover and that only one man was permitted to be on the show today. We put names in a hat and Tyrone won. And we told Vince and Bad Ty it's ladies' night / morning. So Yaz and I are in the majority today, as
yeah.
it should be.
I cheated too, by the way. I wrote my name 3 times and
Mm.
took theirs out. So I wanted to make sure that it was me this morning. I'm
Yeah.
winning today.
He said I cheated.
No, it's good to see y'all. How's everybody doing? How you feeling? How are your weeks? Everybody feeling good? Steph, how you doing?
That is such a loaded
Ooh.
question. And I'm one of those weird people who gets that, and instead of understanding that the social polite thing to say is like fine and keep walking, I'm like, thanks for asking, Jennifer. Do you have a minute? Let's sit down.
Well, I mean, hey, give it to us. I'm sipping some coffee, but I'll gladly take a little tea with that coffee if you're trying to spill some.
Okay, yeah, why not? I like to share my business. So hey
What
Daniel.
up, Daniel? Fiddles
Um
in the
Fiddle.
house.
I have this weird thing in my life where karma seems to want to keep me balanced and like humble. So when my professional life is going wildly fantastic, it's like, let me fuck up your personal shit.
Hmm.
So that's the space I'm in right now, where
Jeez.
work is stellar and amazing. And my personal life is, I won't say in shambles, but it was like going very smoothly.
Hmm.
And now it's just kind of like back on the wheel of fortune. Who knows what's going to happen next? So that's a little bit exciting. But I really like certainty. And I was in a
Yeah.
place of like being grounded and certainty and knowing exactly what was going to happen next. And we're back to like, figure it out, bitch, who knows? So I'm just trying to kind of get my feet under me and figure out exactly what I'm doing next in the midst of deep uncertainty. And I don't enjoy that part.
I
All
think you
right.
should take this ride on business and it will lead you to where you need to be, like spiritually and in your life and like, with connecting with, who you want to be connecting with, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to think about it this way. God puts you in the places you need to be so that, you can see things in a different kind of way. If you're blinded by other things, then that might be why, you know what I'm saying? You're being pushed towards, all of this awesomeness going on in your life. So screw the bad shit. You know what I'm saying? Just ride the wave, girl. Just fuck everything else, ride the wave, enjoy it. You deserve it. Okay. Don't ever think you don't. You know what I'm saying? You work your ass off for it. So yeah, just ride the wave and just do the damn thing because fuck it. It's going to turn out great no matter what.
Appreciate that.
Nice words. I say give up. Give. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, came through so much
It's like the
positivity.
angel and the devil on my shoulder. These are the exact things that my brain tells me, by the way. So
Just
Look,
give
I feel
up.
like we're switching roles right now,
Just
Tyrone.
yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Rewatch all of the survivors for some reason. You know what I mean? Just do stuff that's
Don't.
bad for you. You know what I mean? Get really weirdly into the Real Housewives shows, like really weirdly. It's where you're like DMing them on Instagram and stuff.
I
Just lean
actually
into it.
just binge watched 4 seasons of 911 on Hulu, which I shouldn't have told you because I always talk about how I don't have time to watch TV. And Vince is gonna be like, what the fuck, Steph? You watched 4 seasons of
There's
911?
nothing,
You could have
there's
watched
nothing
2
on right now.
episodes of Lord of the Rings? Come on. So I should have kept that to my, but I did.
We won't tell.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't tell.
Yeah, if he watches this, we can't really do anything about it. But you know.
So how you feeling, Yaz? How was your week?
My week is, it's getting better, I guess you could say. I'm just going through some family grieving right now. Unfortunately, it's life and it sucks, but it's just part of life, and I'm just trying to just find my way back to, I guess, normal. You know what I mean? Because everything was kind of just flipped upside down for the past 2 weeks for my family, and yeah, it's been really crazy. So I'm trying to find normalcy, I guess, again, and just like get back to having a routine and not, I guess, feel like I'm crumbling every day.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's getting there. I guess you can say, it's getting there. I'm slowly getting back to being, Yaz. So sorry, fam, if I've been slacking on my memes and stuff like that. I've just been kind of going through it. But I've missed you guys, and I'm definitely happy to be back.
It was good to have you back. Glad to see you. And we missed you last week. And even though the whole fam's not here today, it's good to have y'all here. And this is wonderful. And I'm excited because She-Hulk dropped on Thursday. So I would say Wednesday because, like, you know how the Marvel shows usually drop on Wednesday. So I got up Wednesday morning and I was like, yeah, She-Hulk day. Yeah, we better do this. I was all excited. I text my brother. I'm like, about to watch this She-Hulk, like that kind of thing. And he was like, oh, you are? Because I know I wasn't. I was a whole day early, and that was the long day because I was really looking forward to that show. But then when I got to Thursday, watched my She-Hulk in the morning, and I gotta say, just general impression right off the top for me, I was like, wow, they nailed this. They killed it. I loved it. It was hilarious. Tatiana Maslany, I believe is her name, who plays Jennifer Walters, is awesome. She's great. I loved just everything that was happening in the show. It hit the right notes, and it was great. I mean, it's not news that I like this show. I'm sure everybody could have guessed that, but I was like, even still with high expectations, pleasantly surprised. So I've been looking forward to talking about it. I don't know, just general first impressions. What were y'all thinking after watching that first episode of She-Hulk? Let's start with Yaz, because I feel like Steph's got that, like, Steph's gearing up to punches in the gut. So let's start with Yaz. Let's take that deep breath. And then that way, when Steph punches us, it can just blast out of there. So what's up, Yaz? How do you feel about it?
I really liked the show. It was kind of like a breath of fresh air for Marvel. I liked how it started, with like kind of just diving into her, giving her spiel about, her court case, you know what I'm saying? So I really liked that. And then it went straight to like, oh, let me like just show you how I became Hulk real quick. Like, bet you're curious about that. So I did like that little bit of a twist. And I thought the story was kind of interesting too, and how Banner was kind of jealous low key, and like that cousin, family friction, you know what I'm saying, of jealousy and just trying to be better than each other. So I really liked that. I really liked just the I guess the vibes of how this series is starting, and I'm like really excited to see where it's going to go. Jennifer Walters is definitely like probably someone I'm going to try and cosplay. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm ready. Like,
oh shit,
let's paint me fucking green. I'm ready to hit the gym. Let's do this.
Nice. Yeah, it's gonna become a bodybuilder for this cosplay. I like it.
Maybe. Don't get too excited.
That's great, Steph. You watched it, right? I mean, what were your thoughts? By the way, we will be getting into some spoilers. I mean, it's you know how we do Disney Plus shows. You know how we do more Marvel shows. So we're gonna be talking about She-Hulk. If you haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet, maybe hang around and roll the dice, or catch us on the replay or something like that. But yeah, we're gonna talk Sandman a little bit later. But right now we got to get into She-Hulk. So Steph, now that I've said all that and I've stalled long enough, give us the take. Give it to us.
I give it 3 out of 3 womps. So that would be a womp, womp, womp.
What?
Yeah, I just didn't really enjoy it. I found it corny. I understand that her like, yeah, so actually, guys, let me tell you more about how I became a She-Hulk. Her talk to the camera moments are canon from the comic, but I didn't think that was done well. And I just found her character irritating. Like, why the constant competition with Bruce? Like, he's the OG. Just listen to what he's saying. Like, chill out. Like, fall back. Like, be humble. Sit down. I didn't like her. I didn't really like her.
So it was more
right.
like, so it's the character, you think she's a little too cocky, like she's going into it like a little bit too. And
She's a lawyer.
well, and
So
I
am I.
actually,
And okay, all right. Lawyers are cocky. I was gonna say, so am I not? I was like, no, I am.
I was gonna say Steph. I mean, you're. I wouldn't say conky. I would say confident. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's like a line between the two, and that's where I would draw you at. You know what I mean? So I'm just
thank you. Yeah, I feel like I would have taken much better instruction were I to get gamma radiation in my veins and have Bruce Banner as a cousin.
well, and to her credit, to Jennifer Walters' credit, she didn't even need the beginner class. Like she was killing it as a Hulk. You know what I mean? I loved the the statement they made with that, where just because of who she is, because of kind of just like how she deals with life in general, like she was better equipped to deal with hulking out. You know what I mean? She not so much going on to where like there's all these pent up emotions and stuff like that. She's just like, yeah, I got this, I can do this. I do think that it'll be, I think that won't just be a one-time thing. I think we're going to see a lot of that play out throughout the show, where she does have moments where she's humbled a little bit. You know what I mean? Where she's drawn into a situation where she gets humbled, where she, doesn't want to be involved in something and has to be involved in something. And I think that's when we're going to start to see her struggle a little bit. And in the comics, it's happened a few times where She-Hulk has just gone like full rage monster. And it's terrifying. Like there's, I read The Avengers Disassembled, and it was like, usually she gets like somebody's messing with her head or something like that. She goes nuts. And one time she ripped Vision in half, just straight up killed him, just tore him in half. So She-Hulk is no slouch. But there is a monster in there. You know what I mean? It's there. So we'll see. Well, canonically and comic book wise. But we'll see if it's there for this show. And I do think it will be.
I think that's what makes her unexciting for me. Like the Hulk is exciting because he might fuck around and rage out and just kill everybody. Like you can't really control him. She-Hulk is just Jennifer Walters, but big and green. Like so boring. She's not interesting to me in her human form. And because her personality and control is the same, she's not more interesting just because she gets taller and changes colors.
Well, I mean, that's all it takes for somebody like me. I'm like, ooh, bright green. Thank you for that. I'll watch it for 9 episodes. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I feel you. But I do think we're going to see that sort of start to play out and start to blossom a little bit, because there's more to it. You know what I mean? That they gave us this, and she's in control to a certain extent. But I do think this is kind of the way to separate her story. To make it so instead of just being a female version of the Incredible Hulk with the same story, just as a woman, where she's dealing with very specific issues, and it kind of starts off on a good foot, whereas the first time Bruce Banner changes, and for the first real big chunk of the Hulk timeline or whatever, he was feared and he was a monster, and people were people looked at him as basically death and destruction. So, we don't get that for her yet. I think she's going to earn that at some point, and I'm looking forward to, to how that happens. I was surprised that so much, like, I feel like they held back a lot. I thought the trailers showed us so much when we got those first couple of trailers. I thought it showed more than, what we normally see, but so much of the first episode was what was in the trailer. You know what I mean? Like it seemed to be the trailer was very first episode heavy, which makes me excited for all the stuff we're going to see that we haven't seen yet. You know what I mean? Like possible cameos, things like that. I'm really excited to see where the show goes, because I thought that they would spread the Bruce Banner Hulk stuff out throughout the episode, and we get, flashbacks, and we kind of get like the slow burn origin sort of, but they just went right at it. Like you said, Yaz, they just went right at it. They were like, here's the origin, here's like, this is it. And now we're going to get right into this lawyer show, as Jennifer Walters likes to call it.
Which is good too, because weren't we just like talking about a couple episodes back, Vince and Kiki and Tylene were feeling kind of just like, Marvel is starting to get predictable. You know what I'm saying? And this show, I feel like they off the bat, like they gave us, like you said, like first episode was a lot from the trailer. So there's really nothing to base what's to come off of it. You know what I'm saying? We don't know who is going to end up cameoing in this. And this is like really cool because there could be so many possibilities. You know what I'm saying? Like Bruce Banner, obviously he's already made his first appearance, which was awesome. And I'm really happy about that. And I'm happy they didn't make us wait for the origin story like they normally do. They out the gate, they gave it to us. So I think that was like, I don't know, that was a really strong moment for them. And I'm just kind of excited to see where this is going to go and, like who's going to pop up.
Yeah, well, we do know, to Greg's point, we do know somebody's going to be popping up from the trailer and Daredevil, and I'm with you on that. I can't wait to see Daredevil. What's up, Steph? I saw your hand go up.
Oh, I just wanted to add, I thought it was a bit spicy that Disney opened up with this, is Steve Rogers a virgin thing. I was like, oh, we're introducing sex to the children. All right, Disney Plus.
Yes.
But also, like, obviously not. He went back and had a whole life with Peggy Carter, and I'm pretty sure the man has kids. So, like, do you not know your basic Avengers history, Jennifer? Like, do better.
Well, I don't know if I don't know if it was common knowledge that he went back and lived that other life. I feel like that might just be knowledge within like the the crew.
History,
So but I don't know that for sure. Like they haven't touched on that part of it. But I thought that was a hilarious scene. The ending of that episode, for anybody who saw the episode, didn't stick through the first part of the credits, absolutely go back and just watch that end credit scene, because it's it's MCU canon now and it's awesome. And that scene also to me kind of was a nice little icing on the cake, because the chemistry between Bruce and between Jennifer Walters, like it's so good. Like you believe that they're related. You know what I mean? Like they had a whole like hulked out, basically family fight. You know what I mean? They're fighting like little brother and sister, him holding her head so she can't punch him. And, it was to see two Hulks going at it. It was lighthearted. It was fun. It was silly. You know what I mean? They had a good time. They weren't trying to hurt each other. At no point were they trying to hurt each other, because they absolutely could have if they wanted to. But it was a good time. The humor has been fantastic in this. Mark Ruffalo. It's always fun to see Mark Ruffalo show up. I'm glad we got to see Bruce in human form for a little bit. Long enough to get that blood on him. By the way, speaking of the blood, Lisa has a good question. Do we think that she has more control because she was exposed to his blood, which he's been experimenting on for all these years to try and control it? That's an interesting theory. And
that's an interesting theory.
I think it's plausible. That could have something to do with it. I think narratively, what the show is giving us right now is that her, just basically her control over herself, period, just as a person, seems to be a strength in that regard, at the moment anyway. So but it is interesting to consider, like, maybe because of the better understanding and because of the experimentation that Bruce Banner's been doing, that she got maybe a more evolved version of this Hulk situation, or something slightly different. But yeah, or just because of her genes, maybe it's different. There wasn't a whole need for basically another entity inside. So yeah, that's a good question. And we'll see if they dig deeper into that and give us a little bit more on the, just kind of like Hulk biology sort of thing. One thing that has popped up, which was not unexpected, it is definitely something that is, that has happened with a lot of Marvel shows. It happened most recently with Ms. Marvel, but we got the review bombers, and we got the, the people who complain that it's too woke, because a woman spoke and stuff like that. You know what I mean? They don't like that. They like to keep those quiet. So, it's on one hand, it's sad to see it. You hate to see these kinds of reactions from people. Like, why not just enjoy life, enjoy stuff, But on the other hand, I'm kind of, I'm starting to get a strange satisfaction out of it. You know what I mean? Like, to know that Marvel's not going to be slowing down with these, with these kinds of shows. They're gonna keep on putting out there. They're gonna star. They're gonna be led by women. They're gonna be led by people of color. They're gonna be led by whoever the story demands, and you're just gonna have to get used to it. And I just love it. I love seeing all the little, the incel, baby whiny crying and stuff about, oh, she said she made fun of men. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, come on, calm down a little bit. And so I love to see. I just love to see everybody just kind of like steamroll that energy. You know what I mean? It seems like they're trying to get louder and louder. They're trying to basically bully everybody back into just like only ever having white male heroes, but it ain't working. You just you're losing your ground, and you sound ridiculous while you're doing it. So yeah, I don't know. Did one thing that they didn't shy away from in this was the the moment where she kind of explained her experience as a woman and how that informs her experience as the She-Hulk and her ability to change back and forth and stuff. I know you hated it, Steph. Yeah, as you were down for the show and stuff, but did that mean anything to you? Like when it's not often where we hear it addressed so clearly and so frankly. You know what I mean? Just straight up, like, here it is, no metaphor, nothing like that. Just here's what we're dealing with. When that happened, I mean, like, how did it hit for you, or did it hit? Yes.
I don't know. Come back to me. Let me think about it for a second.
All right, Steph. What about you?
I mean, it was hard for anything to really resonate with me, just because I didn't really like the character from jump. I just found her annoying. So at that point, yeah, it's going to be hard for her to change my mind at this point. I just find her irritating, and I wish I didn't, but I do.
I feel like Minnie's going to be the most disappointed one. Minnie's been waiting for She-Hulk. He's very, very, been talking about it for a little while. Very excited. So you got to be hurting his feelings a little bit. So don't hurt him too much, Steph. Be easy on him.
I do have one more point.
Please.
Kind of going back to something we said previously. I just want it publicly stated on the record that I was talking about Captain America's sex life before it was trendy. Okay, many actually months ago, probably 6-7 months ago, I have a joke in one of my stand-up sets where I'm talking about learning Ebonics later in life. And did you know that no cap is not the punchline to a joke about what I tell Chris Evans for choking me too hard during sex? It actually means you're being honest. So
that was great.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was fucking great. Hell
Trendsetter. I was on the topic before it was cool, for the record.
Check that one on the list. Just saying.
I like it. Well, thank you for blazing that trail so we could, one day see this sexualized Captain America, really start. So we know it's he's out there.
I walked so She-Hulk could run.
I appreciate it, and I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
So we know, it's because they gave. Thank you to Steph. Thank you to She-Hulk. We know that Hulk smashes. We know She-Hulk smashes. Now we know that Cap smashes. So that's good. It's good. It's a nice thing to know about Cap. It only adds to his greatness. And we miss you, Cap. But also can't wait to see Anthony Mackie. Can't wait to see Sam do his thing as new Cap. And yeah, just looking forward to it.
His lack of chin, I just can't get over. His chin is so weird, and I'm stuck on it. I'm stuck on it.
Is it like, so, I get that, coming after Chris Evans, you know what I mean? Like that's going to be difficult for anybody on the, like, looking like a superhero, just kind of out of the womb kind of thing. But so you didn't, I mean, I feel you, because
they could have got Morris Chestnut or John David Washington, or just like, I'm sorry, Anthony Mackie is not statuesque. He's just not.
Damn, Steph's over here just taking it to the Marvel folks. Yeah, like, and she ain't having it with all these newfangled Avengers and stuff.
No, that was not good casting. Of all the, like, big, strong, heroic-looking Black men actors they could have chosen, and they put Anthony Mackie in as Black Captain America.
But like he was Falcon, and like that was, you know what I'm saying? They can't really change his, you know what I'm saying? Like
they should have made him Falcon. They knew when they made him Falcon, he was going to be Black Captain America. Marvel knows what they're doing 45 years ahead of time. Okay?
Listen, we had what Terrence Lawrence, I think, as freaking what you call it from
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard, I think as the freaking War Machine, and then they took him out and gave us Diggs. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, why?
Oh, I thought the Terrence Howard recast was fantastic. I loved when they put Don Cheadle in there as Rhodey / War Machine.
He is good as War Machine. I'm just saying though, I get what you're saying though, Stephanie. If you wanted to have a little black sex appeal, you took it out.
Yeah, thank you.
You cut it and you gave me like the in between dad and grandpa.
Right.
Wait,
yes.
Terrence Howard was the sex appeal?
I mean, he was at least the dad sex appeal. You know what I'm saying? At least had something to like look forward to a little bit. You're like, oh, maybe we'll see him with his shirt off, or you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe he'll like fall out of a suit like Tony Stark did, and someone will save him, and he'll get like thrown in a dungeon or something, and we get to see this whole thing. You know what I mean? But no.
All right. So we gotta start the petition. We need to petition Marvel. Give Steph and Yaz a Black man to objectify. That's what we need. We need. Yeah, we need y'all talking.
After the
they killed Michael B. Jordan, and M'Baku is very nice, but we need more. We deserve more.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
I like it. That man
like me anyway. I'm like, oh man, this guy is like, he's scaring me.
Oh
and he's
no,
like really tall.
He can target me. I'm into it.
This is. I'm not. I just want to jump in real quick and just say. Usually, when we start to listen to this level of like thirst on this show, it's usually from like Vince and Ty, because they just watched something where there's some like so I just want to I want to recognize it and then give you the floor to just balance us out. Do talk about chins, talk about butts, whatever you got to talk about.
Who's got hairy nipples, Minnie?
I'm guessing that's Terrence Howard. I don't know much about Terrence Howard's nipples, so I can neither confirm or deny this.
I don't know why he knows about them more than me.
Is it just the nipples? Because that'd be weird. Like if it's the whole chest, you'd expect the nipples to be hairy as well. But if it's just that he's got like hairy nipples, like they look like two little peaches on there,
So I'm concerned.
I feel like y'all did Don Cheadle dirty by just kind of like calling him like the weird what do you say, between dad and grandpa kind of thing.
Listen, he's not in my age range, so that's what he is. Sorry, he's not in mine or Steph's age range. He's in the a dad to almost grandpa. You know what I'm saying? Like older women are like, he's sexy. You know what I'm saying? Like I get you trying to get mamas in there. But that's not That's not what we were looking for.
You know who would have been good Black Captain America? Yaya.
Okay. Yaya. Yeah. You love Yaya though, so that makes a lot of sense. But you know who also would have been good though? God, I blank on this dude. I have to look him up and I'll get back to you with it. Hold on.
Or they got him playing Kang, but I think Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors,
yes. He would be.
He could have held that down.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I feel like he could have been a good Cap, but I'm going to defend Sam Wilson. I'm going to defend Anthony Mackie. I think he's doing a wonderful job. I think that he represents for all the pointy chin dudes out there.
Nobody want that. Nobody want that. They don't need to be represented. They be all right.
We exist, is what he said.
Oh damn, that was so funny.
It's awesome. Yes. But back to She-Hulk, because there's so much to touch on with She-Hulk, and just to kind of just appreciate it. Some of us will appreciate it. But do you think, Stephanie, there's room for you to get on the side of Jennifer Walters? Or do you think that you'll never like this character?
I am not dead set against the idea. I'm open to it, but I'd be very surprised. I don't think it's going to happen.
What up?
Wow. I'm just reading the
The
comments.
fam checking in. Yeah, multiverse. For all those who aren't on it yet, Multiverse Wednesday night at 6:30. Y'all got to join us
Yes.
to see this kind of shenanigans on a Saturday morning. Love it.
Oh, God. I exercise my Fifth Amendment constitutional right to refuse to incriminate myself, so I'm not going to respond to that comment. And I completely lost my train of thought about what I said. Way to throw me off.
Oh yeah, you just completely derailed Steph's thought.
The train that just went through.
We were talking about whether or not you think you might be able to like Jennifer Walters at some point.
I'm open to it, but I'd be very surprised. I don't expect it. I'll keep watching so I can talk to y'all and see the cameos and be in the know. But I just find her so dang annoying.
Wait a minute, you're gonna watch it and you're not just gonna read it? Oh, I'm so proud.
I'm gonna hate watch it.
You're gonna hate watch it? Yes! Wait a minute. Does that mean we get to like look forward to like hate watch videos possibly?
I can make a video about how much I hate it if y'all want.
We're gonna get some more but it's gonna be like Jennifer Walters instead. Oh, it's gonna be great.
Yeah,
I'd be interested to hear some of those thoughts, without a doubt. But I think that she's gonna win you over time. I do think that there's room for this.
Wait till she flips the fuck out and gets all angry and shit. Then Stephanie's gonna be like, "I love this bitch." Watch.
Yeah, there's no danger. There's no chaos. She takes what's interesting about being a Hulk out of it.
In this first episode, I don't disagree with you. I don't think it was an accident. I think it was very much a choice because they did spend most of the time, on a very private island situation, kind of practicing and talking and, talking through this Hulk thing.
Right.
So if it's danger you're looking for, I believe we're going to get there. But, but it does seem like they're trying to establish that this is going to be a lawyer show.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to see how much of it, is going to be like a legal procedural type and how much of it is going to be like crazy superhero shit. Because we know we're going to get the superhero stuff. But it seems like they're trying to establish or warn us in this, this first episode that it's not going to just be a bunch of punching and smashing. And, we're going to actually really get to know Jennifer Walters. We've seen in the trailers that she's going to be out there doing the dating thing and, doing work stuff. We know Daredevil is going to be in it, who's also a lawyer. So maybe they'll be meeting up in the courtroom as well as the streets. So it'll be good to see how it works out and whether or not we think that Stephanie will be won over by the end of this show. It's got 8 more episodes to win over Stephanie. And I'm really excited. We got I got to recognize the teal appeal here from Twitch. What up? I'm guessing, hopefully the teal appeal is a Jaguars reference. If you're a Jaguar fan, sound off. Not that like we're, very excited about being Jaguar fans, but give us, yeah, sound off a little bit. Let us know that you're out there is always all we're saying. One thing that I did see pop up is that Disney and Marvel released an updated timeline for the MCU, and they put She-Hulk in the timeline before Miss Marvel, which, I don't know if they're going to overlap at some point or if this will, if Miss Marvel took place, a little bit after She-Hulk. But I was initially thinking, I just love the color teal. It's okay. You could love the color teal. Teal's a great color.
That is, I love it.
But so what was I to say? Oh yeah, the new timeline. So they put She-Hulk before Miss Marvel. And initially I was like, well, She-Hulk is coming out. It's after Miss Marvel. So, we know mutants are a thing now. We're probably going to see more mutants. So I'm wondering if this is like, I'm like, should I stop expecting to see mutants? Or will we start to see what could possibly be mutants? And then it's just like, we don't know what this is. We've got to figure this out. And then, you know what I mean? So I'm interested to see how that works out, because they did drop in the trailer that we're going to see a lot of superpowered individuals popping up. And so we're going to have to get an explanation for that. So it's going to be it's going to be an interesting, kind of it's going to be interesting to see how it develops mainly because I thought like once this Miss Marvel thing happened, like boom, it's mutant time, like we're going for it. And granted, like that's I do think that's my own bias. I'm a big X-Men fan, big mutant fan. I've been waiting for a long time for this to happen, so I'm very excited. But yeah, I don't know. What do we think? Do you think that we're going to do some overlapping? Do you think we're just going to like this will be its own thing and not involved in any of the mutant stuff? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Honestly, I'm not sure because there's so many different ways we can go with this, especially knowing that with everything going on with phase 4 right now, with the multiverse phase, you know what I'm saying? We're dipping into different multiverses, we're dipping into, different people meshing. So the sky's the limit at this point right now. We all know what's to come though. I mean, Wakanda is coming, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm just saying we know what's to come. We're a couple months in. So obviously, you know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna have to somehow figure out how to end this with tying it into that. Or is there another show coming out before? I'm not really sure.
I don't think before Wakanda Forever. I'm pretty sure this is the last thing, and then Wakanda Forever.
So that's what I'm saying. So this is going to have to basically tie that into Wakanda Forever, because we do know that these are all tying into each other. The Marvels movie, we got to see Kamala Khan at the end of of the Marvel, of Miss Marvel. We got to see her switch spots with Carol Danvers, like completely. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, we don't really know what we could be seeing right now at the end of the series. So, I mean, the sky's the limit. I'm just excited to see, like, is it going to be Shuri? Is it going to be, Angela Bassett? Like, who is going to be the cameo from Wakanda, or just like to bring that in? Or are we just going to hear, like the melody, you know what I'm saying? Like we usually do, like the drums, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. There's just a lot. I'm excited for what's to come. I'm really not like putting any big expectations on it, because I am looking to be surprised with this. Like in the gate, I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to put any expectations to this. And they already blew my expectation out of the water. So I don't know. I'm excited to see where we're going. You know what I mean? Like it's growing. So we'll see.
I think I'd be surprised to see Wakanda pop up like visually in the show, maybe a mention or something like that. But I'd be surprised to see a cameo out of Wakanda. I think that there's going. I don't know if they're going to try to tie She-Hulk directly into it. I'm guessing if there are going to be any tie-ins to like anything coming up as far as like movies, like specific tie-ins, I'm guessing they're going to happen through Wong, because we saw Wong in the trailer show up. It comes through his portal, and he's kind of been that guy now, like in the last like several things where he just like he's like, hey, now we're doing this now. You know what I mean? Like Wong just pops up and he's like, great news, you're on the team. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of been how how he's been used. So I think when it does come time for whatever tie in, or to kind of like wink to where we're going, I do think that's going to be his role in that. Okay. But I mean, Steph, if Wakanda pops up, let's say, maybe the Dora Milaje pops up, or, maybe sure, like if something like that, would that win you over? Would you be like, all right, She-Hulk, you did that? You know what I mean? I just still hope that there's a way that you can enjoy these next 8 episodes.
I will watch anything that has any mention, reference, shout out, hat tip to Wakanda with a smile on my face. That is the way that you get me. Black people. That's how you get me.
You never know.
Yeah, no, I would love to see it. The community center is, I think, in Oakland. Wasn't it in Oakland? Because that's where that's where Killmonger's dad was stationed for his. Yeah, so I think that's in Oakland. So there, it's in the United States, and
we're in Los Angeles.
Yeah, but there is, I think, a reasonable expectation that Wakanda probably didn't just stop at Oakland. You know what I mean? And that they have a bigger presence around. I think that was the whole point of the Black Panther movie. Once everything was done, was like, all right, we're now going to be ambassadors and stuff. So who knows? Right. Yeah, there could be some. It was in LA. Cool. Yeah, there could be some ways to to tie that in. That's very, very true.
Told ya, if I'm right, I'm just saying.
Look at this. Biddle's dropping dimes. She passed the bar there, and Shuri could be her client. There's so many ways this could happen. Yeah,
they could run into each other, into like like a, you know what I'm saying, like a something could happen. They could both be saving each other, and they're like, "Oh, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you?" You know what I'm saying? Like, never know. She could be in Black Panther outfit. She could
I hope
be
that's the
She-Hulk.
exact dialogue.
You know,
Be like, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? That's
Jennifer Walters would probably say that, but. Yeah.
So when she's the She-Hulk, she just like drops the curse word. She's like, nope, I'm too good
Not
for this.
lawyering anymore. Fuck that.
Real quick question. Let's say you have the Hulk metabolism and you can drink all you want, not get too drunk, and you can just go at it. You can have 50 drinks in one night. What's the drink you're having 50 times? Just curious about what y'all drinking.
Fuck a drink. I'm eating 4 pizzas. I'm using that metabolism to eat Danish and donuts. That's what I'm excited about.
Nah, you know what?
Carbohydrates.
Wagyu beef, baby, all night long. That's what I be eating. Just saying.
All right. No,
Yeah.
That's hey, you do you.
With the mojito. You know, I need
mojito.
Wash it down. You know what I'm saying?
So. All right. No, I like it. Y'all went straight to eating. That's cool. I can definitely appreciate that. Yeah. If I would just, I guess, also just eat with y'all, whatever table scraps are left, if any, I'll just take those. I'll just be quiet and take whatever I'm given. Just so you know, it's your world. I'm just hanging in it. So
as it should be.
I heard a complaint about this show, and it was like the little device that Bruce Banner had to make him a human was some sort of a cop-out. They saw it as a cop-out. I'm curious to see what the comments think. I'm curious to see what y'all think. Do you think that was some sort of cop-out explanation to him being human for a moment? I mean, yes. What were your thoughts on that?
I don't think it was a cop-out because he was, like he explained to Jennifer, he was stuck in space as the Hulk for over 2 years. It doesn't matter if he went to sleep and woke up, he was still the Hulk. So obviously that part of, him getting that control back wasn't happening. So he had to manufacture a way for that to happen so he could stay in control. You know what I'm saying? And Hulk isn't really the smartest person. So it's not like he could have, you know what I'm saying? Like, no offense to Hulk, but like Banner is the genius behind, Bruce Banner and the Hulk. So I don't think it was more of a cop-out. I think it was more of like him trying to not always, like he said, it's been a multi-year battle, you know what I'm saying? Trying to like fight this guy that's inside of him, that's trying to take over. So I think it was more of just like a way to kind of try and, I don't know, rationalize things, especially after everyone is gone now. You know what I'm saying? So he's kind of like the only Avenger technically like left, if you really think about it, other than like Hawkeye. Hawkeye's not around. You know what I mean? So why would he just go Bruce Bannering all the time? You know, that just makes no fucking, that just, you know what I'm saying? He's a fucking scientist. Why would he just be raging all the time? You know what I mean? He's trying to assess threats so he can stop them, not just be like a crazy monster destroying everything all the time. So, I mean, I don't think it was a cop-out. I think it was more of him just like trying to rationalize, like, I'm the only Avenger left. What is there for me really to do? How am I going to save what I can save? And like he said, someone was trying to deliver him a message. He gets weird shit all the time because he's the Hulk. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing too. Like, what do you remember what the name of that ship was?
It was a Class B courier ship, I think he said.
He said the name of it too, but I can't remember what it was.
Oh no, it was Sakarian. It was from Sakara, where he was in Ragnarok. So that was like, the Grandmaster type stuff. But that was I like how they hid that from us in the trailer. I was not expecting to see that pop up, and I like how he was just like, I should get to the bottom of that. Obviously, I believe that's going to be a nod to where Hulk's journey will go, and his future kind of MCU movies or shows. You brought up a good point. He's one of the few left from the original 6. We got him, we've got Thor and Hawkeye, and those are the only ones that are still around from the original group. And part of what was really cool in this show, in my opinion, was that like he was clearly like Hulk, Bruce Banner, like he's clearly missing his friends. He talked about them a lot. Yep. Every time he got a chance to sit down and just kind of like chill, like he was reminiscing, he was talking about his friends, he was it was sweet, but also kind of heartbreaking because like he's just like, one of his whole things has just been like that solitude and that loneliness, but then then he bonds with these folks and now he's down Natasha, who he was basically in love with. He's down Steve Rogers, who he was good friends with, and then he's down Tony, who they were basically like best buds. They were science buds. You know what I mean? I thought it was really sweet of them to kind of give us this
different side.
sort of different side of it, but also like again the consequences of all the stuff that they've been through. Even Jennifer Walters even mentioned not processing your trauma for a decade. And very much we can say that is probably going to come into play later on down the line for the Incredible Hulk. I think he's on the road to some really cool Hulk stuff in the future. There are some great stories that they can follow, and Minnie knows what's up. But we've got Immortal Hulk, which they've definitely kind of nodded to the idea that he's immortal. And there's all kinds of different ways we can go. I'm super excited about that, but I just really enjoyed in this first episode seeing just this nice other side of Hulk / Banner, where it's just kind of miss my friends. Does that do anything for you, Steph? Do you like the first episode better? I feel like I'm trying to lawyer you into liking this episode.
I mean, I really like Mark Ruffalo. I enjoy Bruce Banner. I just could do without his cousin. They could have just given me a Professor
You just
Hulk
don't like
show.
Gus.
I'd been just fine.
Damn, I could just do without his cousin.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I hope she wins you over. I'm a big fan of what she's doing. But I'm happy to hear your hate every week if that's what it is. It is whether it's hate or love, it's just as valid, and it's always good to have to have you here with your takes. They're always fun. Oh man, we got a little drop in. We're about to have a little drop in from somebody we didn't think we were going to have this morning, but
oh snap.
Man, what a nice little thing. It looks like we are now one stronger than the New Blurred Order. Add yourself whenever you want, sir. At your discretion. Oh, and it's now. What up?
Surprise.
Yeah.
What's going on, y'all? What's up?
Ty in the building. Good morning.
Fresh break.
If you haven't noticed, I'm crashing at your house today.
Yeah, man, it's cool. I left the open door policy, gave you the key under the mat. So, anytime you need to stay, crack.
Preach.
What up?
But I had to pull up, man, because I heard Yaz say she didn't want to offend the Hulk, and I was like, this is offending a fictitious character. No need to worry about offending him. I think he'll be all right. What's going on though, guys, man?
What's up, man?
Y'all are doing a great job. I figured I'd tap in while I have time to.
Yeah, that was good. It's good to see you, and I'm really excited to hear about it. Did you get a chance to watch She-Hulk?
Yeah, I watched it like 4 or 5. Well, thank you there, Roberto. But yes,
I was gonna say, did you get a haircut too? Like while we're talking about
we can talk about that after the thing. It's not a haircut, it's just folded.
Okay.
Yeah, I am offended. Minnie just said Ty has the best hair in the panel.
I know, right?
I'm not sure if I'm more upset that he said it or that it's true.
It's not true.
Very upset.
First of all, I do not have the best hair. Tyrone has the best hair. He just cut it off, but he has the best hair. Clearly, there's no question about it. And then Yaz with a close second, and I'm like third.
Not even in the conversation. Damn.
Hold on.
I'm not in the conversation. I'm last. Okay, Stephanie.
Stephanie is definitely before me. She's definitely before me.
I don't even do anything with my hair. It's like too much. Like it's like down past my chest, and you didn't look at it.
I love
that. That's great. Yes.
I love how Ty popped in and just to cause some chaos real quick. He was like, hey, everybody's hair.
This is the chaos that is missing from She-Hulk.
I love it. Oh, okay.
That energy, and Jennifer Walters is not.
Yeah. So speaking of She-Hulk, what are your thoughts, man? How do you feel about the show?
I kind of share Stephanie's opinion of
gasp.
To be honest, I think the show is going to be really good. Let me put that out there first.
Okay.
But not for She-Hulk. I think the show is going to be really good because they're going to give her a lot of supporting cast. Because if I'm being perfectly honest, her by herself, just by herself, she doesn't sell. I'm not sold on her by herself. with the cast, with the back and forth with her and Bruce, it makes it digestible. Her by herself, in the moments when it's just her by herself, I'm like, come on, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. That's how it was the whole time. I don't know if there's something wrong with me that I like her more as She-Hulk than I do as the human being that she is. I'm more attracted to her as She-Hulk too. There's something definitely wrong with me there. But yeah, nah, I said it earlier, and I really believe that the total intent of Marvel with the She-Hulk series is to introduce other heroes, other storylines, other scenarios. I think it's specifically for that. I don't know that She-Hulk will have a hold or keep a hold in the MCU to where we have her seeing her in movies and seeing her on screen. One of the things that I did notice immediately was the CGI. When you compare Bruce to She-Hulk, it is a significant difference in the CGI that they use for Bruce. Bruce has a texture that makes him look humanoid, but just green. She looks like a CGI character. Like her whole thing when they first showed her when she first turned, I think they had like a moment where the lens like you could tell like it was like a transition that you saw. You were like, what did they mean to do that? Like it looked so fake. Like when she first turned, if anybody wants to go back and watch when she first turns, when she very first turns, it looks so that CGI looks so terrible. I was like, Marvel, like what are we doing here? Like you guys have so much money, we need to have better quality, but it is what it is. But yeah, I think as a standalone, nah. But I do think it will be some interesting additions and introductions to new heroes and stuff like that, or new villains or whatever the case may be. But I do think this is what the show is made for.
All right. Wow. I mean, I think she's great. I just want to shout out to Jennifer Walters, Tatiana Maslany, killing it. I think she's doing wonderfully. I think she got the tone right. It's yeah. I mean, I'm interested to see how it builds because I do think they're going to focus very heavily on her and her story, her individual story. I think I wouldn't be surprised if we see Daredevil early, see Matt Murdock early, but then for the most part end up just kind of like Abomination too, but like I think it's going to be very heavily focused on her. So it'll be interesting to see how y'all like that, because they a couple times they were like this lawyer show. You know what I mean? They're warning us over and over again. They're giving us a little bit of a heads up. They're like lawyer, and who knows, that could have just been a one of those kind of meta moments where like that's what she wants it to be, but the world has other ideas, throwing villains at her and blah, because the moment she tried to do anything in that courtroom, a villain busts through the wall and starts going, what I mean? So it's like, it could be that it's her being pulled into the hero, her being pulled into, Hulk business, whether she likes it or not. You know what I mean? It seems like that could be the road they're going to be traveling down.
Her homegirl was real. Like that was a real homegirl moment. I felt her in that moment because like if you had a homeboy who really had superpowers and in that moment some shit pops off, you're gonna be like, hey. and now her homegirl didn't waste no time. She was like, hey, you see that? You better go handle that. She was like, right here. Like, yes, girl, give me them shoes. We don't want to mess those up. Even though those shoes did look like they was like from Payless. I'm not gonna hold you on that, but
this guy.
Yeah, roasting the shoes. He came over here, with the energy.
Her swag was not good, Marvel.
Nah,
I hope if She-Hulk sees Ty and Jess or Ty and Steph coming down the street, she gonna have to cross the street, or else you're gonna get your feelings hurt. You're gonna get roasted.
No, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. She-Hulk won't get roasted. The girl will get roasted.
Jennifer Walters. Okay.
I might pull up and try to shoot my shot. I'm like,
get fireman carried to the bed. Yeah. By the way, there's nothing wrong with that. We don't kink shame around here. So if giant green women is your thing, that's what it is. Giantess is a real thing.
I don't know if it is until I try it.
I'm done. I am so done. Ew. Said I don't know if it is.
So do y'all have any feelings on when you think, because we know Daredevil's coming? You have any feelings on when you think Daredevil might show up? I'm thinking it's going to be the next episode. You think it's going to be the next one?
You think I'm kidding? Watch what I'm saying. I think they're going to go heavy. They're going heavy on the co-stars helping this show to really, like, everybody else is going to make this show thrive. That's why I said I think the show is going to be good, but it's not necessarily because of her. It'll be because of all of the other people. And that's why I think initially they're really zeroing in on it being a lawyer show. Because if you make it a lawyer show, you don't make it about me. You don't make it about She-Hulk. You make it about her job as a lawyer, which then incorporates all of those people that I'm talking about, whoever they are, whoever those masked or unmasked people are, to surface and kind of tap into those storylines or backstories. Because remember, she's a lawyer, so you got to talk about why I'm defending my client or why I'm prosecuting this person. There's going to be a lot of backstories. You're going to hear shit like, oh, he fucked up the whole, all of Manhattan, or he did this or did. I'm saying, so we'll see some of that type of stuff, and I think that's what's going to kind of push the show. So I can't wait to see Abomination. I can't wait to see Wong. I can't wait to see Charlie. Like there's so many people. Who else? Kingpin might pull up. I mean,
maybe
he's the biggest criminal. He's the biggest, criminal mind in all, in all of New York. So
you might see Foggy and Karen.
You might see one Hawkeye again, or Kate.
Kate Bishop.
Yeah, or Kate Bishop. They So you
or
never
Yelena.
know. We definitely probably will see Echo. Matter of fact, that was what you guys forgot. I think
that's what it was. Yeah, I knew there was another one. Echo's supposed to come out.
Echo show comes out before.
Before Wakanda Forever.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, great!
Right. I knew there was something. Yeah. Thank you, Ty.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for that.
There's something there.
Yeah, that's great because I don't want to have to wait like 2 months with nothing. You know what I mean? Like, or because She-Hulk will end in mid-September or something like that. Late September. Yeah.
As soon as She-Hulk ends, though, Disney has Andor coming out. So.
Oh yeah. But just for Marvel, yeah. I mean, we'll have stuff, yeah. But I'm excited.
Plenty of stuff. We'll have plenty of stuff in between time. But for Marvel, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I am excited though that this show. I really, after watching the first episode, I was like, everybody's gonna love this. There's not gonna be any difference. We're gonna just be talking about how much we love the show. But I'm kind of excited that there's some room here for for some minds and hearts to change, or maybe just some fun debates over the next 8 weeks. I'm loving that. Lisa thought Echo was next year. Can we get a release date on Echo?
I'm checking. I'm double checking it.
Perfect. Now. Thank you. That's dope. But yeah, so I think we have a split right down the middle. Yaz and I are thinking She-Hulk is hitting the right notes from the beginning. Steph and Ty thinks there might be some room for improvement, and it'll be interesting to see how it pans out. Wait,
Lisa's right. It's summer 2023.
Okay, well then we stand corrected.
Unbreaking news. That's what we're going to specialize in unbreaking the news. I like it. So, any final thoughts on She-Hulk before we get into a little bit of Sandman? Because I finished Sandman and I'm kind of excited to dive in a little bit more. It took a little while.
Yes, I have been waiting for you guys to finish Sandman. Yeah. So
any final thoughts on She-Hulk before we move on?
No, I don't think so.
Just don't be surprised if next episode you see everybody just pull. I'm telling you, they're gonna go heavy. I
won't be mad at it. I won't be mad at it at all.
It's going heavy.
All right. So I finished Sandman. Steph got a chance to watch the first episode of Sandman. Yes, you said you've seen like 5, right?
I've gotten up to I think like 5 or 6. I don't know. I'm like right after he has his moments with death, I guess. So I'm like there. So like right when it starts to get good, I guess is where I'm at. Because it was very dry and it took me a minute to get to where I'm at. I'm not gonna lie. So
what about you, Steph?
I watched episode 1 and I suppose I thought it was interesting how much time they covered in one episode. Mostly I found it kind of frustrating. Like I just watched a whole like 100 years in one episode. I didn't want all that. It was too much. They threw me in too deep. And then I stopped watching after episode 1 because I saw something like coming up next and it just felt I'm gonna sound like my mother. It felt very demonic. I was like, I feel like I'm gonna be inviting things into my home that I don't want in my home if I continue to watch this show. So I think I'm tapping out at episode 1. It was a lot. It was a little too much for me.
All right.
You're like, none of this devil stuff in my house.
I sound like Phyllis. I'm turning into my mom.
That's so great. I love it. No, I'm with you on the kind of slowness of the first couple episodes, really, for me. And I complained about it last week. And we kind of talked about that. But I finished it, and well, now I'm not finished because they dropped the bonus episode. I don't know if you saw that, Ty, but they dropped the bonus episode of the Sandman.
No.
Yeah, there's now an 11th episode out there. It's kind of like an anthology kind of thing, but it's like I watched like the first half of it and it was really cool. There are 2 separate stories. But yeah, after finishing, the 10 episodes that were given to us initially, I was really glad that I stuck with it. I was like, okay, this got like the stories got really cool. There were some episodes that sort of worked as standalone episodes, but like informed the greater story, and I really ended up enjoying it, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I don't think it's perfect. I mean, at times it feels like a CW show, and it doesn't always hit right, but it's never bad. I don't think it's ever bad. Sometimes the acting can be a little bit I would say, I guess the best way to describe it is like a CW show. It just sometimes it does feel like that, which makes sense. It's DC, they have sort of that, they have that DNA in them. But overall, though, even with those moments, I would say definitely it's something I would recommend to people, with the warning of like the first 2 episodes are a bit of a struggle, but stick with it. It's worth it.
There was a specific thing that I wanted to talk to you about. I wanted to talk to all of y'all about, but everybody hasn't got to that. I don't think got to that point. But I'm not going to wait any longer because I'm 3 weeks now at this point. So I'm just going to jump into it. So Tyrone, since you've seen all of the episodes, there was one specific episode and one part of the episode that I really wanted to talk about. And that was when he goes to hell. And he's walking through hell and he passes a cell or prison cell within hell that contains a young Black woman who we find out is a goddess or something like that, maybe
something like that. Not just regular human.
She was his mate, whatever she was his partner when he walked the earth. But this is the part that is the twist, Stephanie. That I wanted you. That's why I wanted you to watch it as well. So what we find out is the main character, who is the Sandman, that face that you see is just one of the many faces that he wears throughout time. So he was here well before the time we see him, probably the dawn of time.
Right.
And in the dawn of time, he was a Black man. And in that moment, they spoke about I think somebody said something where they was saying they called themselves the first people. Like that, first. Yeah, remember that part?
Yeah,
So he was saying that they didn't. I love the way they worded it too. They were like, they say they were the first people.
Yeah,
that's what they say they were. They say they were the first people. But it was in that moment that you realize that this face that he's wearing is just one of many faces, and that he's worn these other faces. And when you go back and you see that he's been here, well, before the dawn of time. And then the first face that he wore was a Black man's face. So I thought that was very telling as far as the storyline goes. Because at first I was just like, okay, here we go again. A movie with all the gods are white. all the like and it really felt like that. It was like for the most part, and then I was like, oh no, okay, because as you get the story develops, there's a lot more, and I don't want to just tell the story because I think it is a good enough show for people to go out and check it out. But
definitely.
It's just a little slow pace, like Steph. Just keep that in mind. It's just a little slow pace to get like past like the 5th episode, and then it gets better.
Oh, I don't expect Steph to go through it. I think how many seasons of 911 are there?
I think I'm on the last one. I'm on 5 now.
Well, when you're done.
Yeah, I'll take Queen Ramonda wherever I could get her. I want to know though, Sandman. So okay, he started out black. So 1, why did he change it to a white man then? And 2, why does the sister have to be in hell jail? What's that all about? It's only like 1.5 black people on the show anyway. So we get a young black woman, we got to put her in a prison cell in hell? I don't like this.
I will say that the show does, while it's very white at first, the show does get a lot more colorful, throughout. I would say to the point where you're like, oh, okay, like this is more representative of the world that we see. So by that time, it doesn't hit like ooh, why are we doing this? You know what I mean? Like the optics of this. By the time you get there, you're like, all right, this is cool. So, but like in the story of it is, well, they don't go into any real detail, but the story of it is like he's basically punishing her for betraying him in some way. They seem, at one point they were they seem to have been lovers, and I'm guessing, she. I don't know what she did. Can't speculate, but she's been locked up for thousands of years, and he's not ready to forgive her just yet.
Because he didn't try to get her ass out. He didn't go and talk to Lucifer and be like, "Hey, about old girl." No, he didn't mention her. It was nothing. So whatever happened, I probably will be, tackled in the next season. If they actually do another season.
Yeah, you never know with Netflix.
Yeah, you never know. But if they do, I would hope that would be something that would be addressed. But you asked the question, Steph, why is he white? And I just think that over the course of time, he just changes faces, depending on where he is. And I don't know if the white was just a comfortable face for him to have at that time, whatever the case may be. But the complexion or the ethnicity is not predicated. You know what I'm saying? It's more like it's just a form that he's taking. Like it's a husk, but that doesn't define who he is, whether it's a white person, a black person, or anything. Because he's obviously energy and power and sand and whatever else, like that's where his powers comes from. So but I just thought it was very interesting because they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to take that moment to address the first humans, because they called themselves the first humans. That's what they said, the first humans, which is another thing, like, because it's like they specified humans, which was like, okay, so what else is there? Shit, like, I mean, what was there something before that? So, like, yeah.
And then also, I would imagine being, let's say, and you're hanging out, you're chilling, you've been doing this for hundreds or thousands of years or whatever, and then all of a sudden you end up in like, America around the 1800s, and all of a sudden you're walking around looking like a black person in America in the 1800s, and you're like, this face is not working for me right now. You know what I mean? Like this. So I can see why you'd have to strategically switch it up at some point. So that's canon in my mind, is that he was like, I'm gonna need some of that white privilege. So he he switches it up, and and he uses that. I'm guessing though that he had when he has some moments to himself, he's like, I get to be me again.
Another thing that I like about the show is the fact that they don't like the way that they portray black women in this show. They put them in positions of power and put them in positions where the fate of the world rests on, what their mood is. You know what I mean? Like that's That's where we're at. Like that's where we're at. I mean, it's a point in the show where all the people in the drink in his kingdom don't even recognize him as the one who runs shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll be like, yeah, we know you the king of this domain, but we know who the real person pulling the strings is behind. Like it got to the point where they wouldn't even come and tell him shit. They'll be like, oh, we already
Yeah.
told. They'd be like, well, why you
Lucian,
didn't tell
yeah.
me? He's like, well, I thought she was running shit. Like so. Yeah, I think those little dynamics are also interesting.
That's cool. Also, I would say check out this bonus episode because we get to see at least one more of his forms, and I was like, this is pretty cool. Like it's interesting. Like it's I wasn't expecting it. I was like, am I watching Sandman still? Like, is this still the same show? And then it kind of came together, and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. So definitely, if you haven't seen the bonus episode of Sandman yet, it's on Netflix. It was just a secret drop, which I like. I hope to see more of that, like in the future, for other shows. I feel like the nerd type shows really lend to that sort of a thing, because we're always kind of clamoring for more. So I hope that people take Neil Gaiman's kind of lead on this one and start to give us a little extra stuff. We could use it. We've been good, we could use a little extra. Why not? Yeah, no, I would absolutely say I would recommend it. Continue with it. It's worth the slow start for a couple episodes, and it gets really good. There's some really cool visual stuff that goes on too. When they do get into sort of like mind-bending visuals and just kind of like metaphor and stuff, like it does that really well in a way you're like, oh yeah, I haven't seen that before. You know what I mean? Like they do a good job with that.
Yeah, I think that scene that you like, I think you're kind of hinting to the war of mental fortitude and just that Lucifer and what is the Sandman's name? I forgot what they
call him. A lot of things. Dream. They call him Endless.
Dream. Yeah.
Kevin.
So when they have their little standoff of wits and like that whole scene of going back and forth and like saying things and then watching how it affects the person and then coming back, like the ultimate, like the one thing that you could have said that you wouldn't have thought of, but the one thing that winds up being it's like when it's said, the drop, the way that they do everything around it, it just makes that moment, it magnifies that moment so, I mean, immensely just magnifies that moment to where you're like, you actually feel what's going on in that moment. You're like, they're really going, this is how they're battling. You think it's going to be something and it's not, and then it's something different, and you're like, oh, okay. And I'm trying my best not to say what happened, but there's a lot of good parts of this series.
Yeah, they got inventive with the way that they portray certain things. Where fights aren't just fights, and magic looks different depending on who you're dealing with and stuff like that. And that's I think a strength of the show. I think the lead actor is really good in it. I think he plays that part the way you need to play that part. But I think the true strength of the show is, just kind of the really, inventive and original ways that they, that they use magic and visuals and things like that to give us thoughts on things we didn't really think about. There's an entire episode that's just about like essentially what would happen if people just stopped lying. And it's a crazy episode. It's really, really good. You could watch that episode by itself and be like, oh, okay, I understood everything that happened here. Like I wasn't missing out on something. It's really, really strong episode. It takes place in a diner. I wish I remembered the name of it, but they do stuff like that really well in this show. I think if they do continue with it, I hope to see it grow. I hope to see it, kind of get stronger in some areas so it can be something that's kind of embraced on the level that like Game of Thrones was, or like even something like Stranger Things was. Because I do think it's a fun show to talk about, and it's a fun show to witness and just kind of yeah, just have a new experience with, because it does feel new.
Definitely and different.
Yeah.
Definitely different.
So check out Sandman, y'all, and let us know what you think. If you have been watching Sandman and you want to give us what you thought about it, please hit us up in the comments. This is going to be a shorter week, just because it's been turmoil in the past couple weeks for the Blurs. So we're going to be wrapping it up pretty soon here. Ty, is there anything that you've been watching that you think that that some of us need to be on, or that we need to be looking at? What you got?
Well, I definitely think that everybody, and I mean everybody, should be tuned into their TVs tomorrow night at 9 p.m. It looks like our Game of Thrones is going back to the old, the
9
old ways, going back to the old ways, having us all waiting on Sunday night, eating our food, just finish dinner up right in time for that show to start. Listen, I'm going out on a limb here, guys. Um, House of the Dragon may start off the same way that the original Game of Thrones started off, with a bash, with a fucking bash. I'm expecting this next episode tomorrow night to be epic. Dragons, and more motherfucking dragons. That's all I need in my life. But yo, I would tune into that for sure, man. Like if you are into the Game of Thrones and everything like that. Also, next week we have the third season of C, which is I believe the final season.
Yep.
If you're a Jason Momoa fan and you want to see Jason Momoa at his best, then I would suggest you check out C. I give it 2 thumbs up. Last season was pretty good, pretty damn good. So I'm hoping for the same this next season.
All right.
I mean, the regular shit.
All right. Oh, what you got? Yeah, is you watching anything or excited for anything that's coming up?
I'm definitely excited for House of Dragon, and I am definitely excited for the Power of the Rings. So yeah, the Ring of Power.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power. Yeah, that is one to be excited about. Steph's really excited about that one too, right? Is there anything Steph's been? Do you recommend that we jump on that 911 and get on that, or is?
I mean, it's good escapism entertainment. I love Angela Bassett. She plays a cop, which is interesting. I am definitively not pro cop, but I am pro Angela Bassett.
All right.
And they do address the strange tension of being a Black person and a cop. So they do talk about it. They don't pretend that like that's not a weird choice. Or I won't say no. I do. I think it's a weird choice. But they do address that tension. And I mean, yeah, if you want to just like, it's absurd. It's very over the top. Every episode is like, oh man, my sternum is pierced by a flamingo. Like the situations are crazy. They're absurd. That's part of the fun. Is just like, what wildly unrealistic shit is gonna happen today. So that's the fun, is that it's just completely ridiculous and unrealistic. So yeah, I would recommend it if you want to watch something silly. No big new properties I'm excited about except for Wakanda Forever. I'm just counting down the days and finding my multiple costume changes.
Good. All right. I'm down. 911 sounds crazy. I might watch a few episodes just to mess around with it and see what's up. I'm with Minnie, which, and this kind of sounds like a threat, but I recommend She-Hulk. I won't kill you if you don't watch it, but like I can't say somebody else won't. So Minnie's out here threatening people to watch She-Hulk, but no, watch She-Hulk. It's been super enjoyable. And yeah, I hope that it wins over some of the folks in the panel here, and becomes a favorite. We'll see, but yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun every week. Either way, we're going to have a good time with it. Is there anything just in general that you want to say to the folks who joined us this morning? Thank you all so much, by the way, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch or Twitter, follow, share, definitely share, because we love talking to you and your friends, and we want y'all to join the conversation. So thank you for being here.
Subscribe button.
Yeah, subscribe. Thank you. Yeah, hit the notification bell, all those buttons. Hit them all. But
Yeah.
anything?
What up, Nolly? I don't think we said hi to Nolly, but she's been in the comments.
Oh yeah. Oh there. Yeah. What up, Nolly? Here we go.
What
Oh
up?
yeah, she caught us earlier when Ty was accidentally rapping. I remember that. That was good stuff.
Yeah.
Now, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching as usual. It's always great to see everybody. Steph, got anything on the way out?
You know, I just want everyone to be their authentic selves. It's She-Hulk Day, so I'm taking the reins. I'm doing this. Be your authentic self, because if you're not being your authentic self, you're being fake, and nobody should be being fake. Yeah, I just wanted to say that real quick. It's an original thought.
I like
I
it.
thought
I
of
like
myself.
it.
I wasn't yeah.
That's Yaz. Anything to say? I was like, should I get the outro ready? But I feel like we got to give Yaz and Ty a chance to say goodbye. And then we're gonna have you come close it out again for real.
Okay. I'm out.
There we go. Ty, anything for the folks before we head out?
Yeah, I think it's really important. And I'm gonna get serious real quick. I think it's really important to love on the people that love you, and really hold them dear, and appreciate them while they're alive. You know, without going too far into my business, I just know that mortality, when it's like right in your face, like right smack in your face, you get an opportunity to really reflect, man. You like really get a chance to really reflect on the things that you did or didn't do, said or didn't say, feel or didn't feel. Yo, like, no days of promise. Like, life is way too short. Yo, tell those people, man. Show those people, man. Whoever they are, tell them, show them love. Don't just tell them all the time I love you, but don't have no actions to support what you're saying. Like, really tap in, man. Like I know everybody is busy out there. Everybody has a life. Everybody got shit going on. I hear that all the time from all my friends, from all my family, from all, and I'm saying to them, back to them. But understand something, right? For every time you say you don't have no time, when that time is taken and you don't have the chance to say you don't have that time, that right there is going to sit with you for the rest of your life. So just remember that, man, and hold those people close, man, because you never know. You never fucking know when it's that time. And I'm telling you, man, I stared death in the face, like stared it in it. This is the closest I've ever come to looking that thing in the face, and that motherfucker changed me. I'm gonna tell you straight up, like I love y'all. I love y'all, and I'll show y'all I love y'all. You ain't gotta worry about that coming from me. I'm gonna show y'all that. But I'm telling you, like, if there's anybody, and I don't care who it is, even if they just like on the verge of being in that love circle, like, tell them, look, man, tell them how you feel. Just express that stuff to people. Don't be afraid to do it. I mean, I could do it, you could do it, we could all do it. Don't be afraid to do that shit, because you never know when that'll be the last. So I'm just putting that out there, man.
Yeah, words of wisdom, words to live by. Express your love. I'm gonna send the love right back to you. I'm going to send it to everybody here on this panel, everybody who's been watching. Yeah, without a doubt, thank you very much for sharing that experience and those words, because it's true. I think the most important thing we have in this world, we like to talk about all this, all the stuff that's going on. We like to talk about all the distractions and the fun stuff. But yeah, the most important thing that we have is each other. So absolutely cherish it. We have a finite amount of time on Earth, so use it wisely. So absolutely. So wow, thank you for that. And Steph, do you want to take us out? Do you want to She-Hulk this thing?
I don't want to follow that. That was deep and profound. I'm like, I got some text messages, make some phone calls right now, man. You're right. But yeah, I guess I will just reiterate, second everything that Ty just said, and remind folks that, as Ty was just so authentic in sharing those words from the heart, it is important to be your real, genuine self. Because if you're not being your real self, you're being fake. And you shouldn't be fake. So go ahead, let your geek flag fly. Be proud in your Blackness, your other culturalness, your nerdiness, all of that, but especially your Blackness if you're Black, because that's my favorite. And go ahead and enjoy the rest of your nerdy day. Be your real authentic self. Nailed it. Did it exactly.
Fighter 2, I just really hate Zangief, only Ken and Ra. You, I find it hard to be Blanca, keep a wee ninja hanging and the uncle album banging. If you negative in energy, then stay out the vicinity. Yeah, them niggas over there. Yeah, now look at